Well, hello and good morning, and welcome back to part 2 of our road trip video. We're just leaving here at Kirklinton Hall in Cumbria. So now we're going to be heading down to York. We're going to spend a night in York. York's about 2 hours from here, and then tomorrow on Wednesday we'll do the drive into London, which is probably going to take about 4.5, closer to 5 hours. Jeep has been performing wonderfully on this trip, but as I mentioned, some thermal issues, but I think that's mostly because of me. But I'm very sad to leave our accommodations here. They were absolutely beautiful. So let's head down to York and we'll pick up the action there. We're sitting at 81% state of charge, 193 miles remaining. Let's punch in our destination while we still have Wi-Fi here, hopefully working. Where are we going? We're going to Novotel York, while we still have working Wi-Fi, because there is no cell phone service out here whatsoever. I'm happy with that route. It says 2 hours 25 minutes, 125 miles. Now my plan is at the hotel to plug in at the hotel, so we could get up to 100%, so that will take us down to London, or most of the way. So it's saying 2 hours and 29 minutes to York. Let's start.
Head southwest.
And yeah, we'll pick it up on the road. Let's go. Got onto the M6. We're on this for 22 miles till the A66, and then we'll be on the A1M heading into York. The wind noise is pretty bad in this Jeep. Pretty bad indeed, and the HVAC fan's extremely loud, so the cabin itself is extremely loud. So we'll continue on our way. So far so good, everything is alright in here. Once we got onto the A66, the weather kept changing every few minutes. It was clear, then it was torrential rain and winds, fog, you name it. It definitely had it. I think we went through all 4 seasons here at one point, heading to the A1M. And at this point, we get on the A1M heading southbound towards York, and I had to start thinking about where I was going to charge the car. We ended up finding that gridserve had a spot at Leeming Services, so that's where we ended up stopping, as you'll see here. You join us now at Leeming Services at a gridserve site. Didn't need to charge, plugged into the Jeep. We had stopped to get some McDonald's and to use the washrooms. 72 kilowatts, 34% state of charge, 79p per kilowatt hour. We won't be here too long. We have a BMW iX charging up. We have an ID3 Pro and a Nissan Ariya. This looks like a relatively new site, actually, judging by all the equipment. ABB, your power cabinets are there. How many posts do we have here? 1, 2, 3. We have 6 posts, 1 connector per post, and some CHAdeMO as well. We'll be here about 10 or 15 minutes while we just get some food, and I figured since we're here, we'll do a little charge. This is what's really nice about the UK and Europe in general, is that every motorway services or autoroute or highway services will have some sort of charging. Maybe not this big, maybe bigger, but they're going to have something, so you don't really have to worry like you do doing Montreal to Ottawa, where there's nowhere to charge. Here there's just charging everywhere. It could be expensive, it might be cheap. You have Tesla, gridserve, Osprey, all these different charging providers, so it's really not a problem here charging, as you've seen on this road trip. As I said, we didn't need to charge, we just stopped here as we were getting some food, and I figured why not plug in while we're here for 10 or 15 minutes. The Jeep is a pretty good road tripper. As I've mentioned, I've had some thermal issues with it. When you really run it down to like 3 or 4% state of charge after you've been hammering it for about an hour doing 80 miles an hour, I kind of wish I had that BMW iX on this road trip. Anyway, so we'll get back on the road and we'll continue to York. Okay, time to get unplugged. How long have we been here? We've actually been here 9 minutes, roughly 10 minutes, done about 12 kilowatts of energy. Let's get unplugged here. We'll press stop. Stop you. Stop. Well, that's not working. Do we have to do it with the payment card? Yeah, tap to stop with the payment card. Here, let's tap to stop. That will stop. Let's get unplugged. Come on, unlatch. This is what sometimes takes a while. There we go, that's unlatched. We'll put this back in here. We'll close up the charge port and we'll get back on. That was a really long motorway services stop. It was really far off the motorway, but the A1M is a bit older and the whole site looked like it was really old and about ready to be demolished. But we did manage to get a bit of a top up on the charge at that gridserve site, which was brand new. So now we're back on the A1M heading south. We're about 48 minutes away from our destination in York, roughly 35 miles. It's saying arrival at 12:30. So that stop really only cost us roughly 15 minutes or so, which is fine, including getting off the motorway, getting to the site, doing what we had to do, and getting back on. So it wasn't too horrible. Once we left the services, the drive down to York was pretty straightforward. Not a lot of traffic out on the road at this time of day. It was still fairly mid-morning. Drive into York, very easy, no traffic whatsoever. Easy to get into, easy to find our hotel. York was absolutely a lovely city. I wish we could spend a lot more time there, but we were only here for one night. Novotel was excellent as usual. Probably one of the nicer Novotel properties I've stayed at in a recent memory, actually. Well, hello and welcome to York. We're staying here at the Novotel here in York Center, and a lot of construction going on. Jeep was good, where we arrived at 34% state of charge. I had planned to plug it in here at the hotel. We booked this hotel based on EV charging, but I'll show you what the issue is. I'll flip the camera around and I'll show you what the problem is with EV charging sometimes. Right, so there's this ID3 that's charging here. So these will do up to 19 kilowatts, which is cool, but you need to download an app to activate it, and my cards, none of my cards worked properly, as the fighter jets are overhead somewhere. Anyways, none of my cards worked. I tried to download the app. It was region locked, which absolutely sucks. You're at a international hotel chain in the middle of a large city, and you have region locked apps, which make EV charging really annoying. I couldn't activate it with ElectricVehicle. I couldn't activate it with ChargeMap. I couldn't activate it with my Hertz dongle on the actual key. I couldn't activate it with that. So that really sucks. That means tomorrow morning we'll have to drive and charge. Anyways, for now, let's go inside. So I just find that really annoying that you need all these different charging apps, and then they region lock the apps. And the ones you think you have work end up not working. Like, now it really sucks is I had planned to leave here at 100% state of charge tomorrow morning or close to it. And now we'll have to go somewhere and charge along the way. It won't be a big deal, but it's just going to add some time to the trip. Not the first time it's happened at a hotel. Hotel charging seems very bad regardless of which country you're in, because the hotel doesn't actually operate that site. It's a third party. So you have to deal with it sometimes. It just sucks, as I really wanted to get that charge. Anyways, that's it from here in New York. We'll pick up this piece tomorrow. We're going to go explore the city, so we'll see you in the morning. Again, York was absolutely lovely. We had a great time here. We wish we had more time, but it's definitely a place that we'll be visiting again in the future. Absolutely lovely city. Quite popular with the Harry Potter fans as well. Good beer, good food. Absolutely fabulous place. Highly suggested if you want to visit. Hello and good morning from York. We're just about to get packed up here and leave. Now we head down to London for the final part of this drive. I know this has been a long one, so we tried to make it as short as possible. I think when we get to London, I'm going to go switch out the Jeep. I'm getting sort of bored of driving it. Maybe it's time to get that BYD Atto 3. And if you remember correctly, I couldn't initiate a charge at those Type 2 chargers. For whatever reason, I couldn't download the app. It was region locked. Pretty annoying, so we'll have to get as far as we can on this charge and charge up along the A1M somewhere, or the M1, whatever we take down. So let's go on this drive to London. Okay, wave bye-bye to the Novotel. The Jeep is all packed up in similar fashion to what it was. It seems we're acquiring more stuff the longer we drive. Let's jump in here. So where are we headed?
London.
So it says arrival 14:236. For those not using a 24-hour clock, 4 hours, 16 minutes, 206 miles. It's sending us down the A1M, which is fine because I plan to stop in Stevenage or Nebworth. There's something very interesting there. It is at 31% state of charge, so we will have to charge along the way somewhere. And yeah, that's it. Let's start the route planning. This is the best cell phone coverage we've had all trip. Okay, let's go from York. York was beautiful. We just got on to the A1M. We'll be on here for 126 miles. Because the Jeep doesn't have any sort of route planning or navigation, we're having to plan our first charging stop. We're at 20% state of charge. We're having to plan it manually, so we're either going to stop at Moto Ferry or at Moto Blythe. Those are two gridserve sites there. The weather is absolutely horrible, but it is Middle England in autumn. So we'll see you at the next charging stop, and we're here on the A1M. You joined us at Ferry Bridge Services. We are at 14% state of charge at gridserve. Let's go get plugged in here. We'll squeeze myself out of the car. We'll grab, all right, plug into your vehicle first. Let's plug in. We'll try to do this one-handed, and of course the cable is not going to be long enough. Right, we are plugged in, a bit sketchy, but it works. Let's see if the Hertz dongle works here. Probably not. Let's see if she works. No, try another card. Of course, Hertz dongle is very wonky. It doesn't work everywhere. We'll use that. How much authorization is it going to put on the card? Let's see if it processes. Card accepted, starting. Well, it's going very slowly. There we go. Preparing to charge. Let's see what we get here. The weather is just absolutely awful today. Absolutely awful. And it takes a bit long for the ABB stuff to connect. Well, there we go. 14%, 79p per kilowatt hour. We're going to do a 15-minute charge here and keep going. I'm not going to sit here longer than I need to be while we try to find a Tesla supercharger. This thing is still on because for whatever reason, they like to have push-button starts on EVs. This is the site here. There is, I believe, 16 EV chargers here from gridserve Electric Highway. There's an i4 M50. There's a Tesla supercharger. Weird that Model 3 is charging here. Just to give you another overview here of what's going on. Everyone's busy. Everyone's charging. Everything is going good here. You have the ID3 charging up as well right next to our Jeep. Again, this is all ABB equipment. And the gridserve app, again, is region locked, which makes it very annoying. And I love this ID3 next to the Jeep, but I think we'll be switching it out today for a BYD Atto 3. We have this British gas van. A lot of trade vans here are EVs as well. Maybe they're putting in more charging there, who knows, but everything is good here. All right, we just got 15 minutes of charge. We got up to 56% state of charge. The weather is awful. I am not staying here longer than I have to. There's plenty of charging here along the A1M. Now I have to get back to find Laura where she is in this pretty much one-way only parking lot. So that was that was exactly 75 pence per kilowatt hour. I don't know what we got. The weather here is so awful. But it was exactly 15 minutes, like 15 minutes, 21 seconds by the time it unplugged. And we'll continue along. But this is what happens when the hotel charging is so wonky and you need all these weirdo apps to get everything working. Like, just put payment processing on it and call it a day. So we'll get back on the road and we'll continue down the A1. As I keep saying, it's so important to get that hotel charging aspect done properly, because we were only stopping for maybe about 10 or 12 minutes each time we would charge up. And it was mostly due with stopping to get something to drink, or we were just getting tired. I was quite tired on this drive for whatever reason. So we're coming up here to a McDonald's with an Instavolt site that we stopped at for about 10 minutes just to get something to drink and to stretch our legs. But at this point, I felt like the trip was kind of getting a bit long. So I'm currently getting rained on. I'm pretty sure this is not good for the camera. We've been here 8 minutes. We're at 35% state of charge, plugged in around 17%. I'm gonna go back in the car now because I'm tired of getting rained on. The weather has not been great here. So we'll continue on the road. We'll do a 15-minute top up, and we're actually going down to show you the site in Nebworth, so just around Stevenage, the new gridserve forecourt. That's the closest one to London. All the other ones, well, there's one in Gatwick, Braintree, and Norwich as well, but that one just opened up last week, so I'm going to take you there to show it, and we'll do a separate video on that. Just got our about 10-minute charge here. We'll be fine. We have 72 miles to go until the next forecourt. Like I said, we'll do a deep charge there because I want to give you a site tour. Instavolt and McDonald's works all the time. Perhaps, again, not the cheapest, but it's there. So no reason to spend longer than we need charging if we're going to be stopping in about 120, 125 kilometers again. So we'll get back on the A1 here. So after a few more hours of driving, we were very close to Stevenage, and I wanted to stop at the gridserve site. And as we were getting closer to London, the traffic, the congestion on the road was really starting to pick up. It was getting a bit later in the afternoon. People were starting to head out to go pick up their kids at school, or they were finishing work, but it was really starting to get heavy out there on the road. And I really wanted to stop at that site in Stevenage, at the new gridserve site, and we did a whole separate video on this, so we don't need to go into too much detail, but right off the A1M, very easy to get in and out of. Absolutely beautiful site. I think that these are fabulous. Everyone has their own opinion about gridserve, but hey, sometimes you have to pay that convenience fee to have nice places like this. We have arrived here in Stevenage. Well, we're actually in Nebworth, just north of London, about 30 miles, at the gridserve electric forecourt, the newest one that they opened. This is what I wanted to show you. I'll post a full site review on this place as a separate video, but it's absolutely lovely here. Just in case you don't watch that video, charging right next to an ID Buzz. These are kind of everywhere here. Big excitement at home for them, but here they're everywhere. Super cool site. Please check out the full site review in the video that is already posted or will be posted. And hey, if you made it this far in the video, please think about liking and subscribing. I think we bring good content. We're always out on the go. We're always out traveling. So please hit that like and subscribe button. It will do us a giant favor. We're closing in on 2,500 subscribers, so we're slowly building this channel. So that's it. We've unplugged here in Stevenage at the new gridserve electric forecourt. Absolutely fantastic, again, as you saw. And as I said, we have a full site tour video coming up. Super friendly staff, very knowledgeable. We're going to give it the final run into London now. It's saying arrival 4:30, an hour and 9 minutes, 33 miles. That's what I expect for London at rush hour. Once we get there, we'll unload, then I'll go switch the car out. I won't show you that. But yeah, let's go from here in Stevenage. Here, don't forget your coffee up there. Sorry, Laura's just answering some emails. It would also help if I put it in drive. All right, let's roll out of here. So it's happened again after a charging session. We went from 17-18% state of charge, and the wrench icon is back on. There's definitely, the thermal management on this thing really sucks. So here, we're that far from London, but yeah, that's getting really annoying, and that's why we're switching this thing out. We came to Hertz to switch out the car. They didn't have any BYDs. I keep missing out on those, but we got upgraded to the Polestar 2 220 kilowatt hour, 82 kilowatt hour battery. 222 kilowatts of output. So this is the big boy, fully updated version 2. We haven't had this one on the channel yet, I believe. This is the car maybe we should have got from the beginning for this trip. But anyways, all good here at Hertz at Heathrow, super friendly service. These guys are awesome here. No issues thus far. They could be later. Anyways, let's get on the road to London. As you saw, we switched out the Jeep for the Polestar. This is the long range, fully updated version. I really wanted that BYD, but he said that they don't have any more left. And I saw this on the lot and I'm like, you know what? We've still got some driving to do here. This is the car maybe we should have got in the first place. I can't complain. I like Polestars. Not the biggest fan, but I do like them. So we got to get into London now, into Hammersmith, to our hotel. Let's get out of here at Hertz at LHR. By the way, that didn't take as long as I thought it was to switch the cars. So getting out of Heathrow at this time of day was quite annoying and took quite a while before we got back onto the M4 heading into central London. And stupidly, I forgot to change my memory card as it was quite full already, so we actually didn't capture the drive into Hammersmith. It happens sometimes. I was already pretty tired after having to drive and switch out the car. I just didn't switch out my memory card, but I don't think it's a huge deal here. Well, here we are in Hammersmith. We have made it. I made a mistake. That's actually a rear drive long range Polestar. It'll be cool to review it again. Polestar has really grown on me. I've really fallen in love with it again. We're here at the Holiday Inn Express here in Hammersmith. Not my first choice of hotel, but for whatever reason, prices of hotels this weekend in London are through the roof, so this was the most budget-friendly that we could find. Normally we'll stay at a Novotel or something with Accor, but it was just absolutely insane, the pricing. Not that this place was much cheaper, but it's very well located. We have friends that live in North London, so we could get around on the tube. I'm taking us down to Farnborough on Friday for fully charged, or electrify everything south. Well, I just call it fully charged. So we'll take that down to Farnborough on Friday morning. We'll spend all day there, and that's it. We have like 4 nights left here in the UK. Hope you enjoyed watching. I know that was a bit of a long one. I tried to make it as short as possible, but yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you again in the next video. And from here in Hammersmith with the Polestar 2, which I didn't think we would get. Again, thank you for watching, and take care.